Hi students, today I am going to explain human body circulatory system, how the circulatory system will help us. So we know that after we eat food it gets digested and the nutrients will be absorbed in the intestine. Again it will go into the bloodstream and it will reach every cell of our body, and even oxygen what we breathe from the lungs, it will also reach to every cell of the body. So in addition all the wastes produced such as carbon dioxide and all the wastes, it will be transported to excrete out. So how all these will takes place, how transport system will be there. So the body needs an effective transport system, and that is called circulatory system, to transport the nutrients, minerals, essential chemicals and respiratory gases to all the body parts. So in circulatory system, three main components are there. That is one, fluid to transport, like blood. That blood will transport the substances and from the cells of the body, and a network of transporting vessels. These vessels act like a tubes, like arteries, veins and capillaries that are distributed throughout the body, and it will collect the blood to and from the body. So next, a pump. A pump is needed to pump the blood. So heart. So the heart will pump the blood throughout the body. So first we'll see about blood. So blood is the life giver of the body. Without blood, life is impossible. It is red in color. It connects the different parts of the body and maintain continuity throughout the body. It consists of a mixture of plasma and blood cells. Plasma consists of 55 to 60% of total blood, and blood cells are solid parts of the blood. So it constitutes 40 to 45%. There are three types of blood cells. What are they? Red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Let's see the components of blood. First we'll see plasma. So plasma is a straw colored liquid part of the blood. So about 90% of plasma consists of water, and remaining 10% consists of some substances such as digested food, salts, hormones, waste products, antibodies, like this. See the plasma. So this plasma is liquid part of the blood, and all these blood cells are solid part of the blood. See, this yellow color is all plasma. Then we will see the blood cells. In that, first is red blood cells. They are also called erythrocytes. They are made in the bone marrow of long bones, and they are broke down in the liver. They have the lifespan of 120 days. After every 120 days it will die and new blood cells are formed. They are most abundant component of the blood. In the blood, more red blood cells are there. That's why the blood is red in color. So they are present in large number, about 4.25 million per cubic milliliter. And this contain a protein called hemoglobin. Heme part is iron, responsible for the dark red color of the blood, and it is very important component of blood. It carries oxygen molecules and distributes every cell of the body. As a red blood cell has a disc-shaped structure, unlike other cells, a mature red blood cell do not have nucleus. So red blood cells, when it get matured, it don't have nucleus. Then is white blood cells. They are also called leukocytes. They are colorless, as the name indicates, and circulate throughout the body. They are irregular in shape. Like in RBC, they are disc shaped and they don't have nucleus. But white blood cells, they are colorless, no shape, and have nucleus, and they are less in number, only 5,000 to 8,000 per cubic milliliter, and their average lifespan is only 2 days, couple of days. On the basis of their appearance, origin and function, white blood cells again are various types. They have the ability to change their shapes. That's why I told they are shapeless. They can easily reach the site of infection where they fight against infection. What is the function of white blood cells? Whenever infection occurs, they will fight against the infection and the harmful substances that invade the body by engulfing them. Just the white blood cells engulf the bacteria, and they will protect us from diseases. Then platelets, they are also called thrombocytes. So these are also colorless, disc shaped. They don't have nuclei. They are also made in red bone marrow. Their lifespan is 5 to 10 days. These are the smallest formed elements of the blood. So platelets are very smallest formed. that is, a cubic milliliter of blood normally contains 1,50,000 to 2,50,000 platelets. It helps in clotting of blood. So whenever an injury occurs, clot will occur so that it will prevent us from loss of blood. So they gave the difference to understand easily. See, red blood cells are formed in the long bone marrow. They are red in color. They are disc shaped. They live for 120 days. In mature red blood cells, nucleus is absent. They will transport nutrients and oxygen throughout the cell. Then white blood cells, they are formed in bone marrows and lymph nodes. They are colorless. They are irregular in shape. Only 2 days it will live. They contain nucleus and they protect from diseases. Means they protect from disease causing germs. These are also formed in the red bone marrow. They are also colorless. They are disc shaped like red blood cells. They live only for 5 to 10 days. In this also the nucleus is absent. So in red blood cells and in platelets, nucleus is absent. Only in white blood cells, nucleus is present. They helps in blood clotting. Then, what are the functions of overall blood? So we know that blood is a very important liquid part. So, and it helps in transportation, regulation and protection within the body. So it will transport nutrients throughout the body. It will also transport respiratory gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. It will also drainage of waste products. It will carry the waste products to the kidney to filter that and also help to excrete the urine. And it also helps in maintaining the body temperature. So it controls the body temperature at 37 degrees and equally distributes the heat from one part of the body to the other part. It also helps in maintaining the water balance to constant level uniformly throughout the body by transporting. It also controls the level of minerals such as sodium and potassium in the body. It also helps in defensive, like killing the diseases causing bacteria, like white blood cells I already told. And also in the site of injury, platelets will help to clot the blood so that blood loss will not be there. Then we know that there are blood groups. So how they are on the basis of absence and presence of proteins called antigens and antibodies on the surface of RBC, red blood cells. Human blood is divided into 4 types: A, B, AB, O. In A group, antigen A will be there and antibody B will be there. And blood group B, antigen B will be there, antibody A will be there. And in blood group AB, antigen A and B will be there, antibodies will not be there. And in blood group O, no antigens, antibodies A and B will be there. So antigens are what are they? They are the proteins present on the RBC and antibodies are present in the plasma. So blood antigens, antibodies work against each other. So an antigen never works with its corresponding antibodies. So the opposite are there. A antigen, B antibody. B antigen, A antibody. So it will not work with same antigen or antibody. It will work with different types. Because when similar types occur, what happens? The red RBC will clump and burst. That's why different antibodies will be there. So blood transfusion. When sometimes an accident occurs or illness occurs, blood loss will be there. In such case, blood from a healthy person is transferred to a needy person and this is called blood transfusion. Who receives the blood is called recipient and who gives the blood is called donor. So, while giving blood, the blood group should be matched. See, blood group A people can donate to A and AB and can receive from A and O. And blood group B person can donate to B and AB and can receive from B and O. And blood group AB person can donate to AB and can receive from any group. And blood group O person can donate to all groups, can receive blood only from O. So here AB can receive from all groups. So he is a universal recipient and O he can donate to all groups. So he is a universal donor. Next, blood donation and blood bank. Blood donation is a very important contribution a person should do for the society. So whenever people needs blood for various reasons, maybe he may be anemia or some accident, or some patients don't have blood. So blood donation is our human duty. It is not very harmful to donate blood because it will be generated every 120 days. As I already told, the body of donor can regenerate the blood within a few days. Now public awareness is noticed to donate blood. Many clubs, colleges, societies organize these blood donation camps for different occasions. So who are blood donors? So a blood donor should have the following conditions, should pass the following conditions. He must be above the age of 15 to 17 years and under the age of 55 to 60. So, and he should be having good health and must pass the physical and health test giving prior to donating the blood. Before donating the blood, some tests are conducted. Blood type based on ABO system. Blood type should be there and RH factor should be checked, and he should be checked for HIV disease or any disease which passes from the blood. Then what is blood bank? So whatever is the donated blood, it should be stored properly. So blood banks have been established worldwide to store this. So these blood banks are specialized medical centers where donated human blood is stored for blood transfusion. Here the blood has been collected and separated into red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and plasma, and used according to the need of the patient. So red blood cells carries oxygen, we know that, and platelets help in blood clot, and plasma help in specific important proteins that help in important functions. Next, what are blood vessels? These are transport network of our body system. In general sense, a vessel is defined as a hollow tube. Vessel is nothing but a tube for carrying liquids. In human body, there are network of blood vessels that carry substances to the various parts. So, the system of blood vessels comprises arteries, veins and capillaries. So what are arteries? It carry blood from the heart to the body, and veins will carry blood back to the heart from the body. Means arteries carry from heart to the all the body parts, and veins carry from all the body parts to the heart. Next, so the heart pumps blood into the vessels which is carried to all the parts of the body. So during blood circulation, arteries carries blood away from the heart, see, from heart to all the body parts, and capillaries connect the arteries to the veins, and veins will carry blood back again to the heart. So these arteries are thick walled, elastic and muscular vessels and have narrow lumen in which the blood flows with jerks. So these carry pure, means oxygenated blood from heart to various parts of the body. Only the pulmonary artery only carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Then see the artery, it have very narrow lumen. In this only it will carry with jerks. Then veins, these are thin walled and less muscular walls. They have wide lumen in which blood flows smoothly. So they carry impure, means deoxygenated blood which don't have oxygen from different parts of the body. Only the pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs. Then difference between arteries and veins they gave. They are located deep beneath the skin. So we cannot see the arteries because they are very deep inside the skin. The veins are present located close to the skin. These carry blood away from the heart to various organs and tissues. From heart to various all the body parts, and they have thick muscular walls. They have very narrow lumen and don't have any valve. Here they bring blood from all the body parts to the heart. They have thin muscular walls. They have wide lumen and they have valves which will control unidirectional flow of blood. So these valves will control the flow of blood. Then what are capillaries? These are fine blood vessels connecting the arteries with the veins. So arteries or veins are connected with the fine blood vessels. So the walls of capillaries are very thin. It is only one cell thick through which oxygen, nutrients, carbon dioxide dissolved in the blood are diffused out into the cells of the body. Then they gave the difference between all the three. So we know that arteries from heart to all the body parts, pressure will be high, oxygen content will also be high, and the size of the lumen is very small. So and property of wall is tough and elastic. In the veins, again from all the body parts to the heart, back to the heart, pressure is low because very big lumen and oxygen content is low, and thin and disintegrated easily. Then capillaries through organs and to form the cells. So these capillaries will be from the organs and from the cells. Medium pressure will be there. Oxygen diffuses through the wall. Small, about the diameter of red blood cells. They are very small like red blood cells. Only one cell thick and easily permeable. Next is heart. Heart is actually cone shaped muscular organ about the size of our fist. Fist, we know, this is fist. So our heart will be our size of our fist. So, and it weighs about normally 300 grams. It is located behind the alimentary canal and in between the two lungs. Between the two lungs, behind the alimentary canal, it is protected by rib cage. We know that it is protected by rib cage, and the heart is made up of special type of muscles called cardiac muscles. These muscles will work throughout the life without getting tired. If the heart gets tired, that's all. So the heart is also enclosed by a double layered membrane called pericardium. It is enclosed by two layered membrane called pericardium, and the space between these membranes is filled with a fluid called pericardial fluid. So this fluid will help us to protect the heart from jerks during contraction. So the heart is internally divided by a muscular wall called septum. This is divided inside by a wall called septum, and so on each side there are two chambers connected by a wall. On the two sides there will be two chambers connected by a wall. The upper chamber is called auricle. So the upper chamber is called auricle and the lower chamber is called ventricle. Auricle, ventricle. See here, right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. So upside auricle, down ventricle, right, left. So like this it is having four chambers, right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle, four chambers. So next, so how the circulation of blood takes place in the heart? So in the heart, due to the presence of valves, so the blood flows unidirectionally. So it flows only in one direction. Due to continuous contraction and relaxation of the heart, the blood will circulate within the heart as well as throughout the body also. So the right auricle will receive, first the right auricle will receive the blood, impure or deoxygenated blood rich in carbon dioxide through two large veins. So that is superior vena cava. From this superior vena cava, the right auricle will receive the deoxygenated blood, superior vena cava, and from the anterior part of the body, and through inferior vena cava from the posterior part of the body. This is anterior part, this is posterior front. From these two, superior vena cava and from inferior vena cava, this right auricle will take the blood, will receive the blood. The blood is forced by arterial contraction. So there will be contraction through the valve into the right ventricle. So due to the contraction of this, it will come down to the right ventricle. This right ventricle again pump the blood into pulmonary artery. So it will pump into the pulmonary artery, and then the two lungs, in the lungs carbon dioxide is exchanged with oxygen. So the blood will again now becomes oxygenated. This oxygenated blood is brought to the left auricle. Here from this pulmonary artery, the left auricle will get oxygenated blood. So again what happens, from here it is brought to the left auricle by the pulmonary vein. This oxygenated blood is brought to the left auricle by pulmonary vein. Again it passes to the left ventricle. So again in the left ventricle, due to the ventricular contraction, this oxygenated blood pumped into aorta, the largest blood vessel of the body. From the aorta, blood flows through arteries to all the parts of the body, so except lungs. When the blood passes through the capillaries, oxygen, nutrients are supplied to the cells, and even carbon dioxide, wastes are collected by the blood. Again this deoxygenated blood comes back to the right auricle. So we have to remember one thing. First, the deoxygenated blood comes to the right auricle from superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Due to this, when it gets filled due to the contraction, it comes to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, here the valve will be there. It will go to the pulmonary artery. Here the exchange of gases takes place. So because carbon dioxide is exchanged with oxygen during respiration, and it will come again to the left auricle, and again it get filled due to contraction and relaxation, it comes to the left ventricle. So like from left ventricle, it is carried to all the parts of the body. Again from deoxygenated blood, like this, it will be a continuous process. See here. So circulation of blood, how it is taking from head, neck and arms, lungs. This blue color is deoxygenated blood, and this is oxygenated blood. Then, so the path of the blood circulation within the heart is like this. So left auricle to left ventricle to the body parts, then right auricle to right ventricle, again lungs to left auricle. Like this, the flow will takes place. Then what is heartbeat and pulse rate? All the muscles of the heart do not contract or relax at the same time. The contraction of heart muscle starts at the auricles first and pushes the blood to ventricles. We saw here first auricle and then to ventricles. So first auricles, afterwards it pushed to ventricles. After a fraction of a second, again the wall of the ventricle squeezes and forces the blood into the arteries, the aorta of the body and pulmonary artery to the lungs. The contraction phase to the heart is called systole. So like this, the contraction takes place to the heart, it is called systole. Afterwards, the heart muscles relax and again allowing blood to flow into the veins and fill the aorta again. Again, the relaxation of phase of the heart is called diastole. So contraction stage is called systole and relaxation phase of heart is called diastole. So on complete heartbeat consists of contraction and relaxation. It takes up to 0.8 seconds and it is called heartbeat. So one complete heartbeat lasts for about 0.8 seconds. Each heartbeat have two sounds. We know that lub. Lub is a weak sound which is produced when the valve connects the auricle to the ventricle. So from auricle to the ventricle, so when the valves connect, then lub sound will be produced, and dub sound is a strong when the valves in the arteries close. So an instrument called stethoscope is used to listen this sound. Then what is pulse rate? So the number of times this heart beats in a unit time is called pulse. An adult heartbeat is about 75 beats per minute. So by counting the pulse, we can say our heart is beating, how fast our heart is beating. Easiest way is just find the pulse is under side of our wrist or neck. So in our wrist or our neck, if we place our fingers correctly on this place, we can count. Then why the heart beats fast on exercising? If we do some physical activity or exercise, what happens? We need more glucose and we need more oxygen. To meet this demand, blood will be pumped fast. Hence, the heart will beat fast. That's why the pulse rate will increase. Then, so what is BP? Blood pressure. So while flowing through the artery, the blood exerts some pressure. So this pressure is called blood pressure. It is measured by sphygmomanometer. There are two numbers in blood pressure reading, that is 120/80. So the person whose blood pressure is being measured should be calm and rested. So if there is increase or decrease in this pressure, it indicates some problems are there, health problems are there. That's all. And we have to maintain a healthy diet and exercise for our heart to work correctly. Regular exercise of 30 minutes is advisable, and good and protein food should be eaten. The food we eat every day play an important role to keep our heart healthy. So eat wholesome food. It should contain all the proteins, foods, lipids, carbohydrates, etc. and high fat diet. Limit the intake of drinks, aerated drinks and junk food. Include seasonal fruits. All the fruits which we can eat in that season berries, nuts in our diet. Some foods like nuts, fish, flax seeds are very good to our hearts. Avoid bad habits like smoking and drinking to avoid the heart problems. Thank you.